Hello everyone, this is Just a Dad. I'm going to do a comparison video. I've had the one on the left, that's the Mr. Coffee Cafe Barista. I just got this Keurig K Cafe. So they basically, you end up with the same end product, it's how you get there. So the Mr. Coffee just generally is a little more work, but I think it tastes a little better. I actually feel like a barista when I'm using the Mr. Coffee. You know, you've got this, you've got to put the grounds in there, and you know, and you got the milk goes here. The Keurig is simply, you're going to use a K cup for the espresso, or I use coffee. The espresso K cups are kind of hard to find, so I've just been using coffee ones. And you get your shot that way. But this one's kind of neat. It's going to give you your shot, and then it's going to do the froth. The froth is done a little different. It's done with hot steam, whereas this one has a frothing cup here, and it mixes it and heats it, so you really don't get any steam action. So I think I've seen like Starbucks in them. I think they use steam to. So the frothing does taste a little different between the two. This one, the frothing is just very easy to clean up, very easy to use. This one is a little nicer in the fact that you can take it and put it in the refrigerator when you've got milk in it. But the cleanup is a little complicated, but what I've found is, okay, so this one is easy to start using right away. It's very simple. You can start, you know, you're gonna master this one really quick. This one took me a little bit. But you know, once I mastered it, I really like it. It just gives you a little better sense of, you know, you're using, you can buy freshly ground espresso coffee, and you got to put it in there, and you learn how to tamp it, and you know, it's kind of fun that way. But I'm going to go through and I'm going to demonstrate. We're going to make a espresso and a cappuccino and a latte with all three, or I'm sorry, with both of them. So one of the bigger differences is, so this one, it's a little easier to put the cup in, and you can use taller cups. I know iced lattes take a little bigger glass, and those fit right underneath there. Over here, you're really limited as far as the size of cup you put in here. Now you can put smaller ones. So you can put smaller ones. It's got this little tray, but that's a pretty small cup. Normally just a normal coffee cup. You got to make sure you get it underneath the frothing spout. You're definitely not going to be doing any travel mugs, so that's a difference. They both have water tanks. This one's got a nice carrying handle. I really like that. It's a really nice design. This one's in the back. It's just got a lid. Normally you just lift it off and take it over to the sink and fill it up, or you just pour it in there with a pitcher. So, you know, they look a little different. This one's a little bigger. This one's just kind of fits. It's really nice how it's just nice and compact. Okay, we're going to start by turning them both on. And this one's got a power button up here. This one takes a little bit to warm up, and same with this one does too. So we're going to add our milk. This is our container for milk. The milk does have a max fill line. You don't want to go over that. But the nice thing about this is you're going to be able to reuse this milk. Okay, so I've got the milk in. This thing only goes one way. It's got two things in the back that plug into the machine back there. That's where the hot froth milk comes out. You can control the angle of it depending on how big your coffee cup is. But this is the nice part, is so when you're done, if you got milk left in here, you can just throw this in the refrigerator, and that's what I always did. And I would clean that maybe once a week or so. But it just slides in. It does have this button, so we're going to make a cappuccino first after we make. So you got to make sure it's on cappuccino, and then when you want to do a latte, you're just going to turn it over to latte. So this does have a few extra buttons, and it is a little tricky to figure out at first, but I do tend to like the one on the left a little better. Okay, now we're going to add the milk for the Keurig. So with this is a serving. So you have to put milk in here every time you want to do a serving. There's a cappuccino line and a latte line. So we're going to do a cappuccino first. Okay. Okay, so you want to make sure you put the lid on. It fits in this nice little tray. Now this does get hot. So it's got this nice handle. You're going to want to use a handle. Okay, so now this is the tricky part that takes a little bit to get used to. Okay, so this is on the left side, the Mr. Coffee. You've got to add your espresso coffee grounds. And it comes in two sizes. This is for a single shot and double shot. I mean, I just always kept the double shot in. I never really did do single shots. So you put it in, it just quarter turns. Now you got to fill this up, and then we're going to tamp it. Now, I found that this container, I would keep my grounds in this because it just has a nice little pour thing. This is the hard part of the job, is getting that right amount in there, and it kind of makes a mess, but you get used to it after a while. So you make a little mound and then you just tamp it down. Lightly tamp. There's lots of videos on how much pressure, but you want it about 1/8 of an inch below the ridge, and just lightly tamping it. And now this one's ready to put in. Okay, so I've got this out. I've got to put it in at an angle first. It's going to go up, and then it's got notches. Then I'm going to turn it. And it doesn't take a whole lot of pressure until it's just basically straight out. Now this one's ready to go. I've still got to put a K-cup in this one. So I'm going to lift this. See, this is the easy part. You just throw the K-cup in, put it down. Okay, and that's it for that one. Okay, so I'm going to start these about the same time. Over here, you're going to hit the cappuccino button one time, and that's going to froth this milk. And then you're going to hit this button up here that says cappuccino is strong, and the shot light will be lit, and then you're just going to press the brew button, and it's going to brew. Over here, we've got this on cappuccino. We're going to hit cappuccino. This is a double shot cappuccino, so I'm going to press the button twice, and now it's going to start brewing. This one just sounds like you're at a Starbucks or a really nice coffee shop. The Keurig just sounds like a Keurig, you know, nothing too special. So this one's, you got your shot coming out into your glass. This one's putting the froth. I'm just going to put the froth and the shot right in the same glass. Love how it separates like that. So this one's done. So this one might be a little quicker. The milk is still frothing. This is going to be done here real quick. So I've got my shot. My shot's in there. Okay, it beeped. So yeah, just maybe 20 seconds after the other one was done. I'm going to lift this up. This is just a little nicer way the froth is made. And then I can pour it in. You can make your pretty designs. Got a lot more control. So yeah, if you like to do design works, this might be the way to go. Whereas over here, you know, that's what it's going to look like. But I think this left one here tastes a little better. And this one's just quicker. But I do like the frothing. So that's a cappuccino. Let's do a latte. Okay, so before we do a latte, let's just show you cleanup. So with the Keurig, that's another benefit. Okay, that's the cleanup. You're just going to take this over to the trash can, throw it away. It's not the most environmentally friendly. And then this is pretty simple. You're just going to wash that out. It's got a little black thing down in there that's got a magnet on it that keeps it down there, but you're going to clean all that out. This is dishwasher safe, really easy to clean. And then here I've got to do the same reverse process. So now there's my grounds. And it's got this neat little flap. So you put this flap, that holds that basket in there. And then I'm going to take this over to the trash can and dump the grounds out. So I've got this, and then your little grounds come out, and then you can just wash the rest of that out. I'm going to put my K-cup in. Okay, so now this is the little disadvantage I was telling you about. So lattes are a little bigger, and I don't quite have latte cups, but what I have found is I have to use a little larger cup. So I have found that these mixing bowls from Walmart are just perfect. They fit in underneath there, they hold a lot, and then I just transfer this to my coffee cup so that I don't overfill it. Okay, so on the Keurig, we're going to fill it up. It's got a, you can see it in there, there's a latte line. We're going to fill it up to the latte line. Very simple, very easy to do. We're going to put it in. We're going to put the lid on. And then we're just simply going to press the latte button. And it's just kind of cool how it makes it. You want to make sure you leave the cap on. So on the Keurig, we're going to hit the latte button, and all we got is to hit the brew button. So this is going to do the same. So latte and cappuccino are the same. Basically, you're just going to get a shot out of here. The main difference is how much milk you put in there. So over here, we've got a whole separate button for latte, and I'm going to do a larger latte because I've got the double shot in there. I'm going to make sure I turn this to latte, and I'm going to hit this button twice. What that does is moves it over to there, and it's going to do the froth first, and it does it with steam. Compared to the Keurig. This one you get quite a bit of steam coming around it. Now the latte does use quite a bit of milk. And it is kind of loud. And then your double shot's going to come out. In these cups, it makes a really pretty design. Really get that separation good. Okay, so this one's done. The Keurig is still heating up. Now this, remember, this is going to get hot, so it heats this up. Okay, just finished. So now this is done. In fact, that is kind of, that's hot, so you don't want to touch that. There's my froth. Here's my shot. And then I get to pour in the froth myself. So the latte, it has a lot more froth, a lot more of the bubbly stuff at the top. And then let's go over here. So again, I had to put this in another container. You know, it separates it really nice. You don't get quite as much, well yeah, you do get quite a bit of froth in that. Okay, so then I'm just going to simply pour it in to another container. And that's when I can do my design work. So, I just like the Mr. Coffee. It just, you know, you feel like you're a barista at home. The Keurig is simple, fast, quiet, a lot easier to clean up. But this one, I just really like. I found that I've got used to all the mess that it makes in cleaning up. Okay, now longevity. I've had this thing almost 3 years. I've not used it the full 3 years. I use it 3 or 4 months out of the year every year. So it's probably got about 1.5 years of use on it. Nothing's gone bad on it. It works really well. The Keurig I've just gotten. You know, Keurigs are made really well. So I'm not sure how long the Keurig is going to last. And they both use about the same amount of water. So now let's do an iced latte. Okay, so now we're going to do an iced latte. You need a bigger cup. It says fill it 3/4 of the way with ice. And we'll start over here. So I've got, it's a latte. So you're going to fill it up to the latte line. And then you can put it in here. Now this one's got an extra step. You got to hit the cold button first, then latte. That's going to make this will be cold milk. Well, it's already cold, but it's going to keep it cold and just froth it. Then this is nice. You're able to put your cup right there. Put your Keurig in. Again, we go up here, we hit latte and just brew it. It brews the shot right into the ice. Over here, I'm going to have to brew it into this. And then I'll have to dump it into this. So I'm going to do the same thing, hit the latte button twice. And then this is going to do the same thing. So one thing I just noticed is, so this froth is going to be cold. This froth is going to be, oh, I'm sorry. This froth is going to be hot on the Mr. Coffee. This froth is going to be cold. That's probably going to be a big deal. Okay, so my shot brewed right into the ice. When this is done, I'm going to add it right to the coffee. Okay, so now it's doing its double shot. This is pretty much just like the latte we did before. And like I said, this one, the cold light's on, the latte. This is not hot, it's just frothing the milk. Okay, so this one's done. It does drip a little bit when you get... Okay, so they both finished about the same time. This one's done. Let's take this out. Let's dump it in. So I've got quite a bit, I've got some extra froth. I should have used a little bigger glass, but this one, I just love the looks of that. It just looks so cool how it does that. And so over here, let's take this and we will dump it in. Now this is all going to be hot, so it's going to cool off quite a bit quicker. So you can see this one stays mixed, but it does all fit into one glass. So you get a little more froth. So these are going to be completely different drinks. I want you to see that. Look how much froth you've got over here. And this one's pretty much all just the drink. And this one's still doing its thing. And I can touch, this one's pretty cold still. This one's warm almost. I mean, not warm, but it's kind of like room temperature warm. It's not cold. You know, and the ice is really melted in this one. This one, yeah, the glass is cold. So here's my drink. Yeah, I've got some big ice cubes left. Over here, yeah, they're just smaller. So this is going to be a completely different drink. Yeah, this one's still cold. So I was wondering what the differences of these two will be. Iced lattes is going to be a big difference. They still taste about the same. I just enjoy the flavor over here. Just seems better with that than actually out of a K-cup. But yeah, this one does a little better job. And then of course the Mr. Coffee, the cleanup's going to be a little harder, a few more steps. Basically the Mr. Coffee has, I'd say 3 or 4 times as many steps just throughout the whole process. Cleaning, getting it ready, doing everything. And this one you're just going to throw in the dishwasher, take that little black thing out, hand wash it, and then you just throw your pot away. So again, this is just a dad. This was a comparison. I'm going to keep the Mr. Coffee. I don't do iced lattes very much. I do have another video showing how to do mochas. So I do white chocolate mochas like they make at Starbucks using the Mr. Coffee, if you want to check that video out. And then I also have a video just on this Keurig, a detailed review. I go through all the ins and outs of how to set it up the first time. Oh yeah, so one other thing, if somebody in your household wants to do coffee. So this one doesn't do coffee, but the Keurig, you can put a coffee like I've got in here, like a coffee, and you can do it 6 ounce, 8 ounce. So if somebody in the household or you want to do a K-cup, just a normal coffee K-cup, this one does that. This one's strictly for espresso cappuccino latte. I didn't really go over the espresso, but you saw the espresso work. Basically, if you press this button only, I'm going to do it here, even though those are old coffee grounds, I'm just going to demonstrate. So if you press just this button, it just does espresso. You don't get any frothing. So if you just want a double shot, a single shot, you can just go up there and press that button and you get that. With this, you know, latte, cappuccino, everything is all one strength as far as with the K-cup. And like I said, I wasn't using espresso K-cups. They're just kind of hard to find, but these seem to work okay. Okay, so let's go over cleanup. I'm going to show you the Mr. Coffee since it's got so many more steps. So again, so you can take this and put it in your refrigerator. They do want you to do a steam clean through, so to get the nozzle kind of clean. So if you see down here, you're going to turn this all the way to clean. And then if you see right here, this says the word clean. I'm going to hold this button. And what that's going to do now, it's going to shoot a bunch of just fresh steam, no milk, to clean out that nozzle. And to kind of clean out the tubing. There's some tubing inside there that's going to help clean out, but it's not going to take the milk out of it. Okay, so that takes about 30 or 40 seconds. Be careful that that pipe coming out will be hot. So basically, you're just going to take this out. It says you can move that down, and you can just put this in the refrigerator. That is super nice. That is a really nice feature. But let's pretend like we've had this in here for a week. You will start to get some stains on the side of the walls, and we're going to clean this. Okay, so here's everything you're going to clean. On the right, you've got the Keurig. It's got that little black thing. It's held in with a magnet, so you really got to pound it to get it to come out. But you're going to want to clean that by hand, probably not put in the dishwasher. But you can put that in the dishwasher, same with the lid. Over here you've got this, and then this, and then... So these little things too, you have to clean these probably once every couple months. This comes apart, you unscrew this, and then you poke it out, and then you got to take this off. Okay, so once these come apart, and I've had that get clogged one time. It was rare, but so that is nice to take all this apart and clean it. Same with that. So on to the frother. Okay, so onto the frother, and it's got this tube, so you can clean that. Again, be careful, that could be hot, but you turn that, and then you can go inside and clean that. It does get a little dirty. Now this thing, when you did that cleaning process, it shot a bunch of steam in here to help clean this out, because you really don't take this apart. You can wash this off. I wouldn't throw this in the dishwasher or nothing, and same with this. I wouldn't put this in the dishwasher. I would just clean it out by hand. So there you got it. So again, a lot more steps, but you just feel like a barista fixing the Mr. Coffee one. But this one, the simplicity is just super nice. So I think that's about it. Again, this is Just a Dad. I want to thank you for watching. Yep, this one's still cold. This one's kind of room temperature. And if you could, please like and subscribe. And thank you for watching.